Hey everybody, this is Tony with Backwards Biker Magazine and Wood Tramp Outdoors. I've got some questions that were sent to us asking us about 3 different books. I'm going to answer those. Hang tight. Guys, welcome back. You know how I feel about education. Building your library. Doesn't matter who you are, how long you've been into the bushcrafting, outdoors, survival game. It doesn't matter. Adding books to your library gives you the ability to educate yourself, to go back and reference something because, no matter how great our memories are, if we don't practice something day in and day out, every day, where our muscle memory is there, after a while, we don't retain that knowledge, and we have to go back and refresh it. And not only do we refresh the knowledge, but we also have to practice it to keep our muscle memory where it needs to be. So, here's what has happened. I guess this started probably about 2 years ago when we first got a request to give our opinion on a book. I didn't go out and try to find the book. I just looked at it online a little bit, and I thought, I don't think that this is something that I would want to recommend to somebody for a couple of reasons. So the first book that we're going to talk about today, real quick here, and I appreciate Evan asking the question, our opinion on this book called The Lost Ways. And Evan said it was written by Claude Davis, but really Claude didn't write the book. He was just smart enough to grab other authors' material and put it together into one book and offer it for $47.99, which to me was like way over the top because I'm not going to spend a lot of time on any of these books, but I'm just going to tell you what you got here. Is, as I said, Claude was pretty smart, and he is known as, a outdoorsy. I won't call him a survivalist, although he does have some, I guess he has some classes. I don't know the man myself, but he is somebody that really appreciates the old ways, and he capitalized on it with his book. I don't know how many of these books he sold, but at $47.99 a pop, you make pretty good living if people are buying the book. And I've been seeing it for at least 2 years on Facebook, popping up because of our outdoor relationship, right? So what do I think about the book? I think the book is a waste of $47.99, and here's why. It's not because the information isn't good. Most of it is good and can be helpful, but there are parts of the book it's just a waste of space. And the most important thing that I would tell you is that every one of these chapters, you can go out and on the internet and you can get all that information yourself for free if you'll just take the time. You can even print it out and put it in a binder if you want and have your own book. That's basically what has happened here. Now, there are 15 different authors that helped to write this book. I mean, they didn't actually help to write the book. They wrote their thing, and Claude went out and got it and stuck it all off in this book. And, like I said, there's some good stuff in here, but there's stuff that you can get anywhere. So save your $47.99, that's where I'm at on that. So, Evan, thank you very, very much. All right, Jennifer is from Fresno, California, and she asked about this book. This book is written by Mr. Dave Canterbury. It's the Hardbound Bushcraft Illustrated, a visual guide. You can get these on Amazon. And again, this is a hardback. This is definitely a library book that you put in your library. And my quick overview on this book is first of all, there's no doubt Dave Canterbury is a outdoors beast. I mean, the guy is well balanced. He can go anywhere in the world and thrive. with just a little bit of nothing. I mean, the guy does have a lot of knowledge and experience. You really can't beat any of that. And he has parlayed that into a very successful business. He was on what was that? Dual Survival. That's what it was. He was on Dual Survival for, I think, at least a couple seasons before there was a little glitch that happened. And he's no longer on there. But his visual, high-profile character that was there became very, very popular with the outdoors world, especially survival experts. All look to him. So, Dave knows what he's doing, he knows what he's saying, and he knows how to develop a business because he's done a great job with that. So my take on this book is that, hey, it's a good book full of good information. There's a couple chapters that I think are very, very good chapter. His chapter on axes is impeccable. He did a great job on that. The illustrations that are here in this book are very, very good as well. And he also has a section on identifying different medicinal plants. I think that are colored. Most of his illustrations in here are black and white, or just some, there's some blue, some green, some red, but they're not full color pictures. But as I said, look at the one on medicinal plants. I mean, those things are very, very clear, very, very plain, and that's very important to me when it comes to learning or teaching someone about certain medicinal plants. They got to be able to see them to be able to understand them. The book really doesn't do that. And right now on Amazon, this is $13.99. Now, the takeaway on this is simple, is that I've heard other people say it, and I'll say it too. Dave Canterbury is a big fan of Horace Kephart. We all are. As well as George Washington Sears, Nestmonk. You hear him reference them a lot. And when you read his books, I don't care what book it is, you're going to see, if you know anything about Nestmonk or you know anything about Horace Kephart, you will see them inside those books. Their actual teachings are in the book. The copyright is well long gone from that. I mean, because everybody's doing their own thing, but the basis, the foundation of it was what Kephart and Washington Sears passed on to us. And, Davis capitalized on that. So what I'm getting at is, other than that Acts chapter and the plants, you can get Kephart's books and also Nestmonk's, George Washington Sears, have them in your library, and you're going to learn the same type of things. Now, over the years, it's over 100 years, over the years, people have perfected those techniques and tactics that those men passed on to us, Canterbury being one of them. And again, this is not a criticism of him or anything. I'm just saying, you can get the same information for the most part by going to the library yourself or getting out on Amazon and buying one of those books. But to be honest, for $13.99, I think it would be a good buy for this book. I do. So thank you very much, Jenna, for asking. That it's a decent book. So yeah, I would recommend buying this. That other one, I would not. No. So now the last one, probably over the last 7 months, I've been getting asked about this book. And this book is by Mr. Josh Enyart. And if you follow YouTube survivalist channels, wilderness channels, Josh has one called The Gray Bearded Green Beret. Man, that is a mouthful. And his website is also Gray Bearded Green Beret, something like that. But his credentials are impeccable. He has been a field medic and a Green Beret paratrooper. I mean, he's been everything, So he wrote this book, and let me just kind of put a pause here. I've never met him face to face. We've written back a couple times. We've tried to get him, in the magazine. Tried to interview him for the magazine, but he's busy. We tried to get Canterbury a couple times, but he's too big for us, is what I was told. So But I didn't hear it from him. I heard it from one of his staff members. We're too tiny to interest him. So, yeah. But anyway, I did reach out to Josh. I've talked to him a couple times, and just briefly. And what I came away from with Josh Enyart is that he's the real deal. That's all there is to it. Not only does he know field medicine very, very well, but just he's a general outdoorsman that he could start his own business. He does have a guide business, I think, or a wilderness skills business. Besides, I think this is his first book. But he's also got videos out there, and we wanted to interview him, and so we went out and we purchased the access to the videos so we could kind of familiarize ourselves. I'm glad we did, because I've never interviewed him, but we have shown those videos here many, many times, because he's got some great ones on first aid, great one on building shelters. He's just a great author. And then when he started putting it in the book here, at first, when I was asked about this, I was thinking, man, my first thing was I hope he doesn't do what other guys are doing and just regurgitate Kephart and Sears. I hope they don't do that. And Josh does not. He took his time with this book. This is all Josh Enyart, and it is one of the most thorough books that I have seen, that I know that have been written probably in the last 30 years. I mean, it's a very thorough book. And I would have no problem recommending you or anybody else purchasing this book. Right now, you can get it off of Amazon for $18. I mean, and the information that you get, if you want to spend $50 on this and not really have hardly anything, you're going to get some knowledge, but at some point you need to really ask yourself if there's enough bang in the buck there. And with this guy here, there is a lot of bang in the buck. You've heard me saying that somebody's got some corn in their crib. Josh Enyart has got some corn in the crib. The guy is somebody that I really respect the work that he does. Let me say this to you here, because this is on the back of his book. He says he is a former Army Ranger, Green Beret, and Special Forces instructor. Surviving the wild provides a logical, systems-based approach to survival and preparedness. That says it all, man. The guy has been there. He's done it. Several tours in the Shizit, and that's something that I really learned to trust when guys have been in under fire and have performed well. You can say all you want and study all you want, take all the tests all you want. When it starts flying and it gets hot and your heart is pounding out of its chest, how you perform there is whether or not I'm going to be impressed. And I would say that about myself too. So, I got a ton of things I want to say today, but I won't because of this right here. I want to get these books out of your way here. So, not so much on this. Thumbs down. That's a lot of money for that book. This is kind of a middle of the road thing, but I would spend the money for it because there's some good stuff in here. All right. Dave knows what he's doing. And this book here, Surviving the Wild by Josh Enyart, definitely spend the money, put it in your library. So I hope it helped you guys out. There's a lot of good stuff in there. So keep watching the channel. Subscribe, and when you do, we put you in our monthly database, and we give away free stuff every month. Some pretty cool stuff. Weather's finally breaking. Hallelujah. Anything else I want to tell you? Yep. You guys ride free and you live free when you're out there. And always, you be safe.